Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Jerry from the Neutral Corner. How's everybody's Monday doing? Tonight's show is a special show. I'm excited about it. I didn't realize that the Massachusetts State Police had a boxing team. But before we get to the show, I want to thank all the boxing pages on Facebook that are allowing me to share my show on their pages. I appreciate the support. And if there's anything the Neutral Corner can help support you, we're willing to do that. So once again, thank you to all the Facebook boxing pages that are allowing me and other pages that don't even involve in boxing sharing my show for support. I appreciate that, and it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to everyone here at the Neutral Corner as we continue to grow. So if you go over to YouTube, type in the Neutral Corner, hit the little bell, you'll know when we're live. Like us, follow us on Facebook, and share the show, share the show, share the show. But I got to tell you, the weekend was great. Very busy weekend for me. I was at the fights. I was commentating, the first time ever commentating a boxing match live on a pay-per-view. It was great. I want to thank Bonato's Boxing and Aaron Bonato for giving me that opportunity. Definitely a huge shout out to Kyle Cusick, who I was commentating with. Again, my first time, so much more to learn, but I was excited to do it and plan on doing more of it. With that being said, thank you to Bonato's Boxing. The fights were amazing. Now, week 3's coming, and you're going to get all that information right here on the Neutral Corner and on Bonato's Boxing page, as these fighters fight for their way to fight on a battleship in the Big Mamie down on the waterfront, and there's going to be an after party, and we'll get to that also. So be on the lookout for week 3 of Battle of the Belts from Bonato's Boxing. It's a great show. Get out, support, show your support for the sponsors. Not only that, show your support for the fighters. It's a family-friendly atmosphere, and it's great. So I want to point that out. So now, moving over to Sunday, I was at Swansea's River Rocks, and I seen this young man. If my producer can post the picture, this is Vincent Sawicki. I believe, I hope I'm not pronouncing his last name. 8 years old and on the electric guitar. I was so happy to be there and witness this. This young man can play the guitar. And I couldn't help myself but to think of my favorite blues player, Joe Bonamassa. Got his start playing with B.B. King. So big shout out to the River Rocks. Great, great show. Again, family-friendly atmosphere. It's in Swansea at the YMCA in Swansea in the back. They got a stage. There's 4 or 5 bands that play. The music's great. The atmosphere is phenomenal. You're outside, fresh air, people dancing, having a great time. So if you get a chance to go out there and you're into the blues music, this is the place to be. So thank you for Vincent for letting me see this. And I know there's great things to follow and great things in your horizon, playing the guitar and playing the blues. So anyway, with that all being said, tonight's show is we're going to talk about an August 24th event at the Seaport Inn in Fairhaven, Massachusetts, with the Massachusetts State Boxing Team. Tonight, I have one guest. I was supposed to have 2. One had something come up last minute and could not make it. But I do want to introduce both of them, although there's only one tonight. Carl Pyers is the venue location coordinator and ring announcer at this event. Stephen Davis is the promoter of the event. We have Steve with us tonight. Can we bring Steve on? Steve, how are you, sir?
Steven, JJ, how's it going, man?
Good, man. So look, you're the promoter of this event. I'm sure it's a huge event. Now, this is not your first event, correct?
I've been promoting the team since 2004, sir.
Wow, 2004. So Look at August 24th at the Seaport Inn in Fairhaven. What can people expect before we get into the questions I have for you?
So we're actually going to fight outside, weather permitting, which is huge for us. We haven't fought outside for a long time. So it'll be the Massachusetts State Police boxing team. We are flying in a team from England, the country of police and firefighters, our opposition. And we will also have some New York City firefighters and some Denver, Colorado police and firefighters will be our opposition. And our team is obviously made up of troopers, but also we have local law enforcement and firefighters that fight with us as well.
You know, I never knew, Steve. And I know it's Steven. Do you mind if I call you Steve, Steven?
Fine, brother.
All right. So I never knew that the Massachusetts State Police had a boxing team.
So the team started in 1976 by a retired trooper. First show raised about $278, believe it or not. And that was back in 1976. And it has continued to grow. We were fighting 2 or 3 times a year up until COVID. Restrictions were on us till probably, I did 2 exhibition matches last year. We were able to start raising money again for charity. And we hope to continue, obviously, to do 2 or 3 shows a year from here on out with no COVID restrictions.
So when did it all start originally? When did it start and for what purpose? Going back originally.
So the original guy was Bobby Benoit. He's a retired trooper. He was a boxing coach and decided to form a team and to fight for charity and to bring other, for lack of a better term, people in to the Mass State Police boxing team to fight for charity and also, represent the state police at the same time. It's always been a 501c3 charity. It's something that is near and dear to a lot of troopers' hearts. We have support from all the troopers, obviously, and we have support from the higher ups at the state police. And my lieutenant is the president of the team. He's been a trooper for about 36, 37 years now. He used to fight on the team, and he took over when the original guy bowed out for retirement.
So what was the purpose of all this coming together?
To raise charity, just to fight for charity.
All right.
And help the West.
I know it's the MSBPB, so I'm gonna, obviously it's Massachusetts Boxing. Is that the only one in the country?
Only state police boxing team in the country, yes, sir.
Wow. Why do you think other state police departments never thought of the idea or got on board?
My fighters are too good. Just kidding.
I love that. Massachusetts, baby.
So I don't know why anybody else hasn't jumped on the bandwagon. There's a lot of countries that we're trying to bring over that do have teams. Locally, we used to fight with Massachusetts Department of Correction has a team, but I don't know if they're really active anymore in boxing. But we've had some Rhode Island troopers that are part of our team. We've had some local police officers from Cape Cod area. I can't speak for other state police boxing teams. I don't know why anybody doesn't jump, but we continue to be the only state police boxing team in the country.
So how did England, Denver, and New York get involved?
My lieutenant is an absolute monster in the boxing world. He knows everybody. He talks to a lot of people. He's been around for 40 years, reffing fights, fighting in fights. He's made contacts with all these other local teams. They follow us on Facebook. Well, with technology today, obviously, they follow us. On Facebook. We follow them, but back in the day, it was all word of mouth and phone calls.
Wow. On an average, how many events does the Massachusetts Police boxing team perform?
We have over now. I think we're over. Our last program book that we put out said over 178 shows, but I think we're probably around. I think we got to be around 220, 250, somewhere around there at this point.
Wow. And how do you decide on locations?
So I reached out, like Carl found me the location for this one. The last fight that we had was down in Hyannis last October. I'm familiar and friendly with the owner of the place that we fought at. The Sturbridge host was our other exhibition last year, and we've been fighting there for probably the whole time that there's been a team. We've been fighting at the Sturbridge host for probably the whole time that we have absolutely been fighting. So, I'll reach out during my campaign of a fight. If my lieutenant wants to find a new venue, I'll put feelers out to some of my donators and say, hey, We haven't fought in this neck of the woods before. Do you know anybody that has a venue that would hold 500 to 2,000 people? And we usually go from there.
Wow, and you're flying these teams in from England, and I'm assuming Denver and New York also.
Correct. And here's the cool part: after they come here, guess what? My team gets to go there and fight for their charity.
Wow, that's amazing how you guys work together. And it's through boxing, man. And that's what I love about boxing. People think, oh, it's a violent sport, but it's really not. It's a sport. It has rules. It has regulations. It's USA boxing sanctioned, correct?
They're correct.
Wow.
The funny part, a lot of people go, well, boxing's a little violent. I'm like, well, headgear and mouth guards are one, but absolutely people try and knock each other out. So I mean,
oh no, absolutely no. I've been around boxing for a long time, and I mean, the idea is to win, and you know what I mean, and I like that. Teams that fly in, how many on average per team?
So for this show, we are thinking that we're going to have at least 6 fighters from England.
Wow.
4 from New York City Fire, and between the police and Denver, Colorado, police and fire, I think we'll have another 4. So we're shooting, I want to say, for 14 fights, but as you know, being in boxing for a long time, JJ, cards always subject to change, but that's what we're
absolutely
hoping.
Yeah, fighters drop out. Don't now. Let me ask you this: how do you match up the fighters per bout? You going by weight class or experience? I know in the amateurs there's open fighters, 10 or more fights, and then there's elite division. So talk to me about that. How you match up the bouts?
I absolutely leave that up to the expert, my lieutenant, sir. So he's been around so long that he does do it by experience. He does it by how many fights they've had. He does sometimes we'll do it by age.
Well, looked like we lost him for a minute there. You gotta love live.
They've had if
right?
it's brand new, do
back.
they want to put him against brand new? Sometimes do they want to put a policeman against a firefighter? Absolutely. Sometimes do they want to put, in years prior, I'm talking probably in the 90s, we've had a doctor fight a lawyer. You know what I mean? So it just depends on who's willing to fight. I believe right now we have 60, if I'm remembering correctly, 60 troopers that are on the team. So when Lieutenant puts out the feelers, who's going to make the weight, who's going to train in time, we usually whittle that down to about 12 to 20. And then he'll match up from the other teams because he's so experienced in that. So he handles all the matchups.
Right. And so who's training these fighters? Is there a trainer? Are there a couple of trainers? Are they left because they're grown men up to training themselves and live? Right? Oh, he's back. Did you hear me?
I froze or you froze.
No, you froze, but we're good. We're here.
I can see the clock ticking, JJ, but I don't know if you can still see or hear me.
I can hear you and see you. That's okay. That's all right. So, Justin, if we can figure this out? It looks like he's having an issue. So that.
Am I back?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can still see the clock ticking, guys, but I don't know if you can hear me or see
me. Yeah, he can't see me or hear me, Justin. He might have to back out and back in. And this is live. You gotta love live, man. I love this. This is the Neutral Corner. It's a live show, and this stuff happens. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna text him to back out and come back. All right, he's back on and rejoined. All right, bring him in. I love it.
Full bars and full signal. So.
All right, man. Can you hear me?
Maybe.
I don't think he can hear me or see me. I got full bars here. Anyway, I think it's can you hear me, Steven? I'm gonna have him back out and back in. And this is what happens. Live. You gotta love it, baby. You gotta love it. This is like fighters, right? We talk about fighters all the time. Steve, if you can hear me or
yes,
see
sir.
me.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're back. Love it. So my question was, the boxing team, do they have trainers or are they training themselves?
They train with trainers.
They train with trainers. So who are some of the trainers? Are they state police themselves or are they from local gyms?
Local boxing gyms.
Nice.
Plenty of them. So Charlie Murray, my president of the team, he knows all of them. I know some of them. He knows all of them. He's been around a little bit longer than me.
Wow, that's all. It takes a lot of work to put this stuff together. This
Yes.
isn't something that happens overnight. Like you said, you've done 178, maybe up to 220 shows now. How do you decide which 501c3 nonprofit organization gets the rewards? How do you decide that?
So as the show approaches, uh, I just keep it real.
Yeah,
Any
keep it real, brother.
Anytime a civil servant gets hurt or killed in the line of duty between now and showtime, usually that's what the money will go for. In the interim of not that, we are sometimes approached from different places that would like for us to fight for them, and or something is recommended to us that, hey, these people are in need, can we fight for them? And it's another word of mouth type thing.
Yeah. So is there any word on where some of the rewards will go from this event?
I know we're going to have a huge raffle. Carl, that you had introduced earlier, has got some memorabilia from the Pats and the Red Sox. We're going to have a trip to Martha's Vineyard, I believe, on I'm going to say the name of the boat or plane that you got to take over there, the Sea Spark or whatever it's called. And those proceeds will be going to the Bristol County veterans.
Wow, wow, because it seems there's pretty good raffles coming up on the August 24th event at Seaport Inn. So you just obviously touched on a little bit of the raffles, right? Is there more or?
Yeah, so there's more stuff that Carl's getting as we get closer to the show. He handles that stuff too because he knows more people in your neck of the woods than I do. We will have some sort of check presentation either at intermission at the fight, or if that charity is not able to make the fight after we determine where the big chunk will go, people can follow us on our Facebook page and they will see either Lieutenant Murray or some guys from the boxing team donating that big fake check, obviously, to the charity that was picked for the fight.
Wow, wow, and you guys, again, you guys have been doing this, and it's all for charity.
Correct. So anybody that can't make it to the show, they can always follow our Facebook page, which you guys can put up, and they can always see exactly if they donate and they don't make it to the show, they can always check and see exactly where their donations went.
That's great, man. So is there going to be, and I know because I just got done doing a boxing event in Fall River at Bonato's Boxing. Is there going to be a way if someone couldn't make the show? Is there a streaming where they can pay to stream the fight and watch?
We have streamed it before. I'll have to check with Charlie to see if he's going to stream it again. We haven't for the past couple, only because they've been exhibitions, but we have streamed them in the past. So that'll be probably put up on Facebook as I get closer to the show.
Yeah, and let the neutral corner know, man, so we can spread the word.
When we fought last in your neck of the woods, it was actually at White's of Westport back in 2000. I'm going to guess 18. Might have been before that, but we fought with some guys from Fall River Pal, Libby Medeiros, if you've heard that name.
Yeah, from the PAL. Know Libby very well. Great trainer.
Oh, Libby Medeiros. I love that guy. He's a fantastic trainer, a fantastic coach. Helped us out immensely at the show. I believe that that show we had former world champ Ray Oliveira's people there were fighting with us.
Super Ray Oliveira, baby, out of New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Got that right. Homegrown guy for y'all. So, yeah, he was there. And over the years, I've had different guys. Like I've had Gerald Cooney there from New York that fought Larry Holmes all those times. And we've had
the gentleman, as they call him.
We've had Mickey Ward, the fighter. We've had Medfield, Mass's own Hurricane Peter McNeely.
Peter Manfredi, baby, Medford.
And JJ, he was an absolute hoot. I mean, I don't know if you've had a pleasure of talking to him, but just a great guy, and everybody's always willing to help our team. Big names like that, and we appreciate that too. So.
Absolutely, I had the opportunity. We've had Ray Oliveira on the show. I've had Libby Medeiros on the show. I've had Peter Manfredi on the show, and I had the opportunity to interview for another show, Mickey Ward, and we talked about his movie, and we talked about his trilogy with Antero Gotti. So yeah, all great local guys that are willing to help out.
Awesome.
I don't want to forget another pro fighter out of New Bedford, Sandman Scott Pemberton, another great one, trained by Libby Medeiros and them guys. So wow, man, that's awesome. So Peter Manfredi, man, wild dude, right?
Absolutely. So, hey, and also I wanted to mention, since you were talking about the Seaport Resort Marina too, if you don't mind, They're gonna. Our fights don't start till 7, and I just don't want to forget this. So your local people. There's a wonderful lady named Sophia. She represents Seaport Resort Marina, and she's called Sassy Angels. She's gonna have a DJ there at 4 o'clock, and probably some food vendors and stuff because we are fighting outside starting at 4 o'clock. We won't start fighting until approximately 7. So if people want to come hang out beforehand, I believe that she's going to have a DJ and some entertainment there, that type of stuff, and some food and stuff and drinks and all that wonderful stuff from the place. And then we will start our fight about 7 o'clock. As the bell rings.
So so Sophia, you said, right? Is her name?
Yeah, she runs Sassy Angels and she works over at the Seaport Resort Marina for them. And she has been very helpful in getting us the venue. She works there and she has worked with Carl tirelessly. Carl has worked tirelessly, our ring announcer and our venue locator. And, they put together a great place for us to fight. It'll be first time in a very long time that we're fighting outside. So we're very excited about doing that as well.
Yeah, outside's going to be great. So you said the event, what time does the event start for the boxing?
Our fights normally start at 7 p.m.
Okay. But Sophia from Sassy Angels is going to be there at 4 with a DJ, some
Correct.
food vendors, and drinks also. So if you wanted to show up early and enjoy the outside for a little while before the fight start at 7, you're going to have food vendors. You're going to have the DJ, and Sophia is from Sassy Angels will be out there. So it's going to be hopefully we're hoping for some great weather because I want to go. The wife and I want to go. My son-in-law that's producing this show and his wife, my daughter, want to go. It seems like a great event. So if you wanted to show up early and pop and maybe go in, enjoy the outside, have some food, have a couple of drinks, you're able to do so.
Walk down the beach, check it out. It's a beautiful place. So, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Shout out to Sassy Angels, baby.
Right. There's some, the Fairhaven Fire Department. Don't want to forget them. They're supplying us with some lights for outside. Carl has been instrumental in that. We have Alert Ambulance, I believe, is going to provide us with an ALS squad as a donation for the team to help us along. So we don't have to incur that big expense and more money can go to charity, obviously. We've had a lot
that's Fairhaven Fire Department and EMS.
Yeah, Alert Ambulance is going to provide the ALS squad, but Fairhaven Fire is going to provide us with some lights for outside around the ring.
I love it, man. You're coming into a community, you're having an event, the community comes together and they want to help out. I mean, shout out to Fairhaven and the fire department, the EMS, and all those first responders, helping you out so you don't have to endure that cost. So that way more money goes to charity. And that's their way of showing and supporting the event. That's amazing, Steve. You got to love that stuff, man.
I usually have doctors that will donate their time too, because as you know, we have to do physical and weigh-ins before the fight. So I don't know what doctor's coming yet. Usually it's Dr. Goldberg. So I will give a shout out to him because he's probably done 50 shows for us. But again, these are people that donate their time so that whatever money that we're trying to raise as a team can go for charity as opposed to incurring a lot of these big expenses. ALS squad is probably for a night. I would gather, I wouldn't even guess maybe $5,000. So for them to do that for us is unbelievable. So
I got Tom Santos commenting, and I'm going to read the comment. It says, going back to New Bedford. So New Bedford had a great amateur fighter called Andre McCoy, who had a promising career, was on his way to Portland when the plane crashed, ending his Olympic and pro career. So that's a sad story, and there's so many greats. So let me ask you this, and thank you for that comment, Tom. I really appreciate that. How can the public get involved or assist in other tax sales?
So if they want to help out anytime they want to follow the team, I'm always putting up posters of our next fight, our next venue. But at the show itself, there's also will be a couple tables set up with state police boxing team merchandise. There'll be T-shirts. There'll be commemorative coins. There'll be, whatever other swag that we have in the trailer right now. I don't know everything that's in there right now, but usually it's T-shirts, could be hoodies, could be sweatshirts. It's pretty nice gear. That's a good way to buy something, and the money goes to charity as well. always follow the team. Massachusetts State Police Boxing Team Inc. is our new Facebook page that went up in October. We always post where we're going, when we're fighting. And if anybody wants to donate, they can always call my cell phone and donate anytime they want. But usually we like to accept the donations while we're fighting, obviously.
Absolutely. So people can donate and buy merch. I'm definitely going to want a Massachusetts State Police boxing T-shirt, man. I got to get one, man, because I love it. Look at it right there, baby. Ah.
So
Hey, wearing it proud. Wear it proud, man.
Watch this one. This is very catchy now. I want you to notice.
All right.
I'm up with the slogan all by myself. I don't know if I can reverse it, so I'm going to have my lady just show you the back of my shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Not spinning. Oh, how do I spin the camera when I'm on your thing? Can I spin it?
I don't know. It should be something there.
Thing.
She could just have her hold it. Just have her show the phone. Hold it backwards.
Yeah, want to show? Want to? Oh, how do I get the back of my shirt?
I love it. I love it. There you go. Yeah, baby. I want one. I want one.
So you saw the catchy slogan, right? Massachusetts Police Boxing is a knockout.
Say it again.
Massachusetts State Police Boxing is a knockout.
I love it, man. Look, man.
Catchy,
I want a shirt. I want a shirt. So let's let me see here. Because I got some questions, right? And how do you guys get involved with this? How did you guys all get involved? Like, how did Kyle get involved in this great organization, man?
I had talked to some guys long time ago. I was out of college waiting tables, and someone said, hey, do you want to try fundraising? And I did. And I did a lot of fundraising for local police and fire departments. But then one of my buddies asked me if I wanted to help out with the team, and I've been doing it since 2004. And in our travels, meaning we always like to fight in new places, so we always meet people at the show. It basically comes down to networking, JJ. If you don't mind me keep calling you JJ, but
no, that's fine. You call me Jerry, JJ. It's good, brother.
Comes down to networking and meeting great people at shows, and they say, hey, you want to fight over our place? Or hey, I got this great DJ. Can you give him a try? Or I got this great master of ceremonies. You want to give him a try? So I will say that if you've ever heard of this gentleman, sometimes we are grateful enough to have the singing trooper be our master of ceremonies. Have you ever heard of him?
No, I have not, but let's talk about him.
I bet you have. He is the guy that sings the national anthem at the Red Sox game, but normally he's in his retired Marine Sergeant outfit. His name is Dan Clark. So he also is called the Singing Trooper. And if you search him, I don't believe he's going to be there. Kyle's going to take care of it, and Kyle is just as good. Don't get me wrong. We love having Kyle as our master of ceremony. So
yeah, Kyle was supposed. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Kyle was supposed to be on the show, and he's the venue location coordinator and ring announcer. But he had something come up last minute. He sends his regards. Would have loved to have been on the show. But we're gonna have you guys on again as we get closer to the show.
That'd be great, and I love it. So here's the deal: you come to the show, you call my cell phone. If I'm there, I'll meet you over at the table and buy you a shirt. If I'm not there, I'll call who's ever at the table, and you go over and get a shirt for helping me promote the show on your show.
I appreciate that, man. But we're gonna make a donation anyway. I appreciate that because I want to wear it on my show when I'm doing. I like to get T-shirts from different gyms and different places, so that way when I'm doing my show,
yes, sir,
I can wear that and support that. And so look, so I think, so I'll get what the neutral corner is. My show. It's not always about the neutral corner. It's about these different gyms and these trainers and gyms that are amateur fighters that want to come on and tell their story, right? It's their show. I'm just hosting it, and that's what I want it to be. If you know any troopers that want to come on and talk about how they got into boxing and how boxing's helped them, I'm willing to do that. As we get closer, if you want to reach out to a few and say, hey, you want to be on a neutral corner? I was on it. It's a show. The guy does boxing. We're willing to do that too.
Absolutely, and I'm always looking to support local gyms too. So there's a bunch of gyms that you and I both know. There's probably gyms that I know that you don't. There's a new one opening up down Cape Cod. Good friend of mine from Somerville. It's Black Belt Boxing.
I met he actually. I think is he a boxing referee or a judge?
Yeah, John Hardy's his name.
He's got a bet. You see his car?
The McLaren? Of course I did.
Yeah.
See that?
I was with him Saturday.
Yeah. So he's a Somerville kid, and
Yep.
driving a McLaren. So that's another success story in itself. So maybe you might want to ask. I'm gonna ask when I get off. I'm gonna call John because I grew up with him long time ago, back before color TV, and I will say, hey, so you know this guy, huh? Yeah. I said, what
Yeah.
you showing everybody your McLaren, bro? That kind
Hey. Well,
of,
so I talked with him. I love the color of the car, and I asked him about the color of the car, and he
yeah.
told me that his dad had a Camaro
Yeah.
that was that color, and his father's passing, he wanted his favorite car, but the color of his father's favorite car. Great guy, amazing guy. Yeah, man. And I talked to him. I told him about the neutral court. Make that connection with him and I, if you could, because I'd love to have him on too to tell his story about boxing and get involved in boxing. How did you get involved with the boxing? I know you say you were busting tables, and that's how you got involved with the organization. Connected, but what do you follow boxing? You love boxing?
Absolutely. So, yeah, I've been boxing since I was a little kid. I can't do it anymore because I'm a little older now. I don't like to say how old, but I'm a little old. I leave that to the young bucks. But yeah, I boxed just about my whole life. I wasn't great at it. I was more of a brawler than a boxer. But
Yep.
I've always been interested in the sport. Yeah. So I like to help out the team. Carl loves to help out the team. This is I think I might have told you earlier. So back in the day, I worked at if you don't mind me repeating the story.
No, absolutely. Go ahead. Just say, hey, look, I told you this is a neutral corner, but it's your show.
Well, so I worked for a company called Dandelions out of Arlington, and they had flower carts, and Marvelous Marvin mine was in Brockton, would come buy flowers once a week for Bertha in his white Rolls Royce. Just classic, just absolutely classic. So I've always loved him. I followed him. Did he lose to Sugar Ray? I will say never did he, but that's just my personal humble opinion. Ever since I started watching him when I was a kid, I absolutely love boxing ever since I started watching Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Best boxer I ever seen.
I love it. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. I'd like to give you a small story. When I was boxing with Ronnie Como was my trainer out of the CYO here in Fall River. He had a good relationship with the Petronelli brothers, which were Marvelous Marvin Hagler's trainers. We would go up there and spar some of the amateurs that they had, and we got a chance to meet Marvelous Marvin Hagler and talk with him. I've met Marvelous Marvin Hagler at the Boys Club as I was growing up, and I just recently went up to Marvelous Marvin Hagler's way, Petronelli's way now, and seen the statue that they have.
Yeah.
You got to get up there, Steve. It's an amazing, amazing area, man.
I saw it on Facebook. I do got to get up there. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, check. I mean, whoever did the statue, it's so. I mean, it's the detail is amazing, amazing, amazing. Did he lose to Sugar Ray? That's for another show. He doesn't say that, but that. Hey, look, and I'm going to tell you this. I remember seeing Marvelous Marvin Hagler on a show, and he said that every time he watched the Sugar Ray Leonard fight, he threw the TV out the window.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I said my own personal humble opinion. That's the way I keep it. I speak for myself. I don't speak for others. But so when I started following him, all the big names were around. We don't have a lot of big names anymore like we did even when Tyson was around. But even back to we had Hitman Hearn, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvelous Marv, all at the same time. We haven't seen that in forever. So I'm always hoping that these young fighters continue and grow and fight well and stay healthy and continue and go to, USA Boxing, them. So, of course, they want to get people to the Olympics. They want to get them to the Gold Gloves, which is another beautiful thing. Keeping kids involved in something that's positive. I would bring my kids to my boxing shows when they were little. Unfortunately, all my son wanted to do was get autographs from the ring girls instead of the fighters.
I love it.
That was just him at 5 years old. But I do love to see boxing gyms open up. I'm glad my friend opened one up down the Cape. I like seeing that sort of thing. Any kind of sport, but I love boxing. So, I'm more privy to that. And again, ever since I started watching boxing when I was a little kid with my old man, I just been following it ever since. So.
Yeah, man, I love boxing. So my history in boxing goes back to the 40s when my great grandfather was a trainer. He trained his sons and my grandfather all boxed in the 40s. My uncle, one of my uncles, I had 207 fights,
Oh yeah.
187 wins. I mean,
They
you don't
fought.
hear that anymore.
Oh,
And getting back to the era of uh, um, um, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy the Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran, Marvelous Marvel, and Hagler. I
they,
mean, I think that's an era in boxing we're not going to see anymore.
oh,
I hope, and USA Boxing, I think, is a great organization, and
it is.
they look out for the safety of the fighters. And I love when they're involved in getting young fighters to get into the Olympics and things like that. I think they're a great organization for everybody to get behind and support.
Absolutely.
I feel young fighters to get today: Shakur Stevens, Tank Davis, Devin Haney, and the list goes on and on. I'd like to see them fight more than they do on social media, but inside this ring, like they did back in the day, instead of
Sure.
fighting once a year and worrying about losing. Look, man, all the greats lost.
Yeah.
All of them did, and they came back. That's what makes you a true fighter.
Right. And like you were saying, even back to the 40s, there was no gloves. And they were fighting 187 times in a couple of years. Never mind, 187 once a year.
Absolutely. So I got a question coming in for you.
Right.
It says, would love to get your opinion, Stephen, on Jake Paul in boxing.
So let's just
Be
say,
real with me here.
oh, I mean, I hope Tyson is absolutely going to knock his dick in the dirt. I mean, just the spouting and I get it. He wants to promote himself. I get it, but just do it in the ring for a little while, bro. Just do it in the.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So
And
look, man, I want to bring it back August 24th at Seaport Inn in Fairhaven, Massachusetts State boxing team. You're bringing in fighters from England, the country England.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, you're going to have is Denver involved?
Denver police and firefighters will be sending a couple of representatives from both teams.
And from New York also.
New York City Fire, yes, sir.
Look, I think it's a great what you're doing. I really, really do. And if there's ever anything I could ever do to help you out, willing to do that at all costs. I think what you do is you're bringing people. So now you got these fighters coming from England and all over, and they're coming to Fairhaven, Massachusetts. They're going to use your hotels, motels, restaurants. I think it's great what you're doing. You're doing more than raising money for 501c3 organizations. I think it's great that you do that, but you're doing more for the community because they're gaining revenue as these people visit restaurants and stay in places. So it's a bigger picture.
I always look at the bigger picture too. So whenever we fight in a small town, Fairhaven is a small town, but it's next to a huge city. Some people might not know about the Seaport Resort Marina. It has changed names. It's the Seaport Resort Marina. I don't know when that happened because I'm not from your neck of the woods, but it's a beautiful place. And a lot of people that I call on the phone from your neck of the woods go, "Oh, that's old Seaport." And I go, "Yeah, but they renamed it. They've redone it. It's beautiful." And a lot of people go, "Where's that?" So it also allows promote a new venue, right? That a lot of people might know. So I call this like a win-win for everybody. We get to raise the money for charity. They get to raise money to continue to grow their business. People that might not have seen each other for a long time, whether they're boxing fans or not, might donate, might come to the show, might see a cousin, might see a family member, might see a friend from 10 years ago. And, I'll say this. I like to make a joke. There's a lot of retired troopers that come to the show, so it's pretty much the safest building anywhere in Massachusetts for that night as well. So
absolutely, man.
State police boxing team. I'm not trying to correct you. I know you're just not saying the word police, so I just don't want us to get confused with anybody else. That's all.
Absolutely no. That's okay. Again, this any guest I have, it's their show. I'm just hosting it, and I made 1,000 mistakes today. Probably make 1,000 more. So I'm good. You know what I mean?
Progress, not perfection, my friend.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Stephen, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Sure.
It's so. If you got any final words, this is it. Go ahead.
I just love to have everybody come out from your neck of the woods, see how we fight, see what the charity is, see what we do as a team, and obviously support your local businesses and keep the economy plugging away down there.
Absolutely, local businessmen support them. So it's now my mistake was I call it what is it? Massachusetts State Boxing Team.
Massachusetts State Police Boxing Team.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also known as Skipper Motor in the early '80s.
Your first question was, I didn't even know you had a team, so at least you're saying it half right.
Yeah, right. I'll get it right eventually, but I never knew. I'm
He's-
following the Facebook page.
When,
I'm a huge fan now. I mean, them guys are their daily. There you go, right there. Their daily job.
when you get your shirt, when you get your
When I
shirt,
get it, I'm going to wear it proudly, my friend, and I'll tell you that. But look, everybody involved, right? The Fairhaven Fire Department, EMTs, the Massachusetts State Police. Their jobs are stressful as it is. These guys are boxing, and there's some badasses. I'm going to tell you right now, there's some badasses,
yes,
and I
sir.
like that, and I'm
Yes.
looking forward to it. And let's have you on again when Kyle can come on. And if you reach out to any of the fighters, I'd love to have them on, find out how they got involved in boxing, how it's helped them in their lives, and things like that, man.
I'll try and talk to one of my guys that's he's a Mashpee police officer, good kid. And I'm actually going to reach out to him to see if he wants to hop on with me and Kyle at some point.
Absolutely. So share the show when we're off. Again, Stephen Davis, thank you so much. Again, you can reach out. If you can put his phone number up again, it's 508-685-2315. Tickets available at the door. Let's get out there. Let's show our support, and let's have a good time. Steve, thanks so much, brother. I'll be talking to you soon.
Like Sylvester Stallone always says, keep punching.
Attaboy, baby.
Thank you.
All right, Steve, thanks again. Yo, man, I'll tell you what. This is an event, and I know Steve's out where he's doing. He's got tree issues. We didn't get into that, but I spoke with Steve this afternoon after I got out of work, and he's dealing with tree issues down where he is, and so I didn't want to take up too much of his time. I just thought it was an amazing event, man. I mean, look, if you can get out to this event, it's going to be outside. Hopefully, we're hoping for good weather, and that's the main thing right there. So pray for good weather to the weather gods, and yeah, man. So the first fight, that's 7. That's when the fights will stop. But if you get there a little early, so some people, and I'm one of those. I like to get there early. I'm one that's if you're earlier on time, if you're on time, you are late. So if you want to get there on time a little early and maybe sit and relax before the action starts, you're going to be able to do that 4 o'clock. Sophia from Sassy Angels is going to have food vendors there. There's going to be a DJ, so there's going to be music. You're going to be outside, and it's a great place. And I encourage you to definitely try to get out and get to this venue. Again, there will be tickets available at the door. You can get tickets from Steve. His phone number, my promoter keeps putting it up. I had it. It's 508-685-2315. Right there. There it is. I can see it right there. Right there. Tickets at door or call Stephen Davis for tickets at 508-685-2315. This is Jerry from the Neutral Corner. Justin, if you could put that photo up again of the event. Look at that. Right there. Massachusetts State Police boxing team. Sassy Angels present Saturday night at the fights. Fight is coming from England. To take on the Massachusetts State boxing team. August 24th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Again, you can get there early. Doors open at 4. Sassy Angels will be having food trucks and DJs. Now, listen, not only are they bringing fighters, let me go back over to my notes. Not only are they bringing fighters from England, man, I love it. This is not kids play, man. This is the real deal. Just like Evander Holyfield, this is the real deal. Not only are they bringing fighters from England, we're going to have fighters from Denver and from New York. This is going to be a great event. Get out there with the family. It's going to be a family-friendly event. And Stephen could not have said it best. It's going to be one of the safest places you could be that night, August 24th. I want to thank everybody that's been supporting the show, supporting the Neutral Corner as it's growing. I want to thank my producer, Justin, for taking the time when he gets home from work on a Monday to be able to do my show. So I thank him. I thank everybody for viewing. I thank everybody for commenting. I want you to share the show. Tell your aunt about it. Tell your friend about it. Tell your brother about it. Watch the show. Have a drink. Talk about boxing. Talk about how much I don't know about boxing. I'm okay with that. I love the sport of boxing. It's a sport. I think it's the greatest sport in the world. And you have events going on like this that brings the community together and supports the community. I think it's great. We got week 3, not this weekend, the following weekend. Week 3, Bonado's Boxing. If you go to the Neutral Corner page on Facebook, give us a like, give us a share the page, invite people to the page. Our show and our page is only successful. It's only successful when the people get involved, the fans get involved, and share the page. And I appreciate that so much. I just lost my train of thought, but that happens. The young man, Vincent, that I seen, Justin, put that picture up one more time. River Rocks, this gentleman, this kid was phenomenal. 8 years old, not even nervous, got on stage, grabbed his guitar, started shredding. I was amazed. River Rocks, Swansea, every month, 4, 5, 6 bands, great family friend atmosphere. Check them out, and great. They got a beautiful splash pad and water. They got a concession stand. It's just great. Bonado's Boxing, Anawan Street, week 3 coming up. Great fights, great talent, working their way to the battleship. And we always say, trying to make it to the ship. Trying to make it to the ship, the championship. These guys are trying to actually make it to the ship, the championship, but the battleship also. That's going to be another great event. But look, you got to go to these fights on Anawan Street at the CYO, Bonado's Boxing, because it's like playoff football. And I'll bring Justin in if he wants to come in right now. He was there. He's seen the fights, and he's a football sports guy. You're going to see the best when it comes playoff time, because everybody wants to make it, and that's what you're seeing here at Bonado's Boxing, is these young fighters giving it everything they got to make it to the ship. So you got to check this out. We got a little bit of time. Justin, you were at the fights. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously my first time being down at Bonado's Boxing for an actual boxing event. I know me and Danielle talked on the ride there. It was either going to be something we really enjoyed, or we were going to be bored. Right? It was our first time, my first time going. Danielle's obviously been around a lot more than me, so I went in there completely open-minded. It's either going to be boring, and I'm going to have to just deal with it, or I'm really going to enjoy it. Next thing you know, me and her, which you probably see if anybody watched the live stream, we're commentating to each other back and forth about how exciting, how explosive some of these guys were. Like your friend Avant that boxed down. Just, you see so much talent, all from our area. Brockton, there was some fighters from up in Boston. It was just a great time. And then on top of it, Aaron and Bonado's Boxing did a good job hosting it. You didn't feel like you were crowded or unsafe. Everything was nice and family oriented. Obviously, people rooting for their fighters or for their friends or family who's in there boxing, and you see some of the guys, build up that emotion when they know that they're making it to the ship. So all in all, just a wicked good event. Right away, I said I need to go back for more. That's without say. And yeah, I mean, we had a great time. It was just awesome all around. The commentating was great. The host was great. Boxing was obviously the best part of it.
Yeah, I could see it in your face. And Danielle has been around boxing and heard all about boxing and seen boxing on TV. But I can see your excitement, and it's a great time. Yeah, man, I think putting on an event at any area is tough, because you don't just put on an event. There's meetings, and you gotta meet with city officials. You gotta meet with the fire, police, EMS. You gotta get everybody there, and Aaron's done great at that. and he's had us. And thanks to Aaron Bernardo Box for having us. But week 3 is coming up, not this weekend, next weekend, and it's a stacked card, man. I mean, it's getting better and better every weekend. It's getting better and better,
Yeah.
leading up to the championship, and I'm so excited for them.
Yeah. If I could say one thing for people who are watching the show, watching this show now, or watch it after, or see it next week, whatever it is, I'm not a boxing guy, right? I even said that to you interviewed Avant there. I'm the first one to admit it. I'm not a boxing guy, but I feel like I'm very good at seeing talent. You can tell when people are athletic, when they care, when they're doing their things with emotion. So I'm a racing guy. I'm a football guy, and I'll tell you right now is anybody can watch these sports on TV. I watch professional football. Danielle knows. Anybody watching knows. I'm a big time NASCAR guy.
Oh
But
yeah.
when you take yourself from that professional level and bring yourself to a local level, like me with Seekonk Speedway, with some other tracks here in New Hampshire, Hudson and Lead, or if you take yourself from the professional football and you take yourself to a Durfee High School or a Somerset High School for a homecoming game or Thanksgiving Day game, you see a total different level of athleticism. It's raw. They're not getting paid to do this. They're doing it because it's in their heart, because it's pure for them. You just get to see a whole nother level. And as a sports fan, you really appreciate that. I appreciate it. And I think other people would too.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. It's great to see these young people and getting involved in the sports. I think sports in schools are very important. But look, getting back to the Massachusetts State boxing team in this event in Fairhaven on August 24th, you and Danielle are going.
Oh yeah, we're going. We'll
Clear
be
the
there.
calendar.
Yeah.
It's outside.
Already cleared.
Have a nice drink. Enjoy.
Yep.
Gonna meet some people. I'm gonna definitely reach out to people. Steve Davis and Kyle Pius have been great in getting this event together again. It's not an easy thing to do. We're gonna do the show again. We're gonna have Kyle on this time with Steve. Hopefully, Steve can get one of the fighters on so we can talk about it a little bit more in depth. So go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, I'll leave with this. Okay, I have the 10th and the 24th of August. We already have it scratched off. We got championship fighting. Championship fighting, but boxing matches on the Battleship for Bernardo's Boxing, right? And
Yep.
we got Massachusetts State Police boxing team on the 24th. It's already cleared, no questions asked. And I will do this because I've done this on my show a few times. Anybody who watches this show, okay, if you have not watched local boxing live, I've only been one time. If you have not watched local boxing live, you meet me at the door. I will pay your way in. I will pay.
It's a great time, man. I'm telling you.
You're gonna walk in, and I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna get it back tenfold because you'll be buying me a beer or buying me a T-shirt. Or something. You'll be having such a good time.
Absolutely.
If anybody has not been to see live local boxing, meet me at the door. I'll buy your way in. Either event, Battleship or Mass State Police boxing.
Let me tell you this, man. Aaron Bernardo has been doing this for a long time. The fights at Bernardo's Boxing, the CYO, have been great. And it's like a playoff system. So you're seeing the best of the best wanting to make it to the ship. Wait till you get on board the Battleship. On the water. Underneath the Braga Bridge. Aaron does it like nobody else, man. And he does it the right way.
Yep.
He doesn't cut corners. He does it the right way.
Yeah.
And USA Boxing's been amazing working with him.
Now I'm gonna ask you because I am naive, right? I don't know.
You're not naive. You're green, like me and NASCAR. You're green.
But is there any other style of tournament style boxing like that? The way that Bernardo is that normal to have a tournament style?
No. So the last time they had it, they just had the whole show one night on the Battleship, and everybody won. I like this. So there's difference. No, there's different ways, but the way Aaron's doing it here, I like it.
Yeah.
Because when he did it the last time, everybody fought on the Battleship, and it was an amazing, amazing, amazing time. Sold out, packed out, amazing, amazing time. So what Aaron decided was, I'm going to make these guys earn their way to the Battleship. And what he meant by that was, you're going to see the best amateur boxing in this playoff tournament style.
Right.
And then you're going to see the best of the best on a Battleship. but you're seeing the great. And not only that, the after party. We haven't even talked about the after party.
Yeah.
Primos. Like it's 5 steps away from the battleship. It's right there. It's
Yeah.
going to be a great time. Justin, thanks.
I'll back out. Finish off.
For having this
Great show today.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and thank you for doing it with me. I do before when we're closing. Within closing, I got a couple of minutes. I do want to rein it back in. I know we bounced around all over the map today, but that's my craziness. It's my craziness. I do want to thank again Steve, great guy, great. Give us a lot of information on how he started with the Massachusetts State boxing team. I never knew they had a boxing team, dude. I'm like stoked for this because I love it. I love it. I want to see former police get a boxing team and a former fire department and Somerset and Westport and Freetown and Swansea and all the other ones, Rehoboth. Let's have a huge tournament down on the water and help out all these organizations. There's so many great organizations doing so much in our community, and we need to support them. And not only do we need to support them, but we need to support the local businesses that are supporting these organizations. That's the key. That's important, is to support local businesses. So I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. I want to thank everybody that commented. If you didn't have a chance to watch the show, I hope you watch it back. I hope you share it. Tell your auntie that the Neutral Corner podcast is better than her mac and cheese. I'm telling you, you got to tell her that. Because you're going to be like, no, wait, I got to watch it. I got to watch the show to see. But it's been great, people. I enjoyed it. I have fun. Again, the Neutral Corner is your show. I'm in the driver's seat. You're in the driver's seat. I'm your GPS, maybe. I don't know. But it's not about me. It's not about the Neutral Corner. It's about helping local gyms be able to tell their story, be able to promote their shows, be able to promote their fighters, their organizations, and what they're doing in the community. That's what the Neutral Corner is about. Do we like the likes? Do we like the views? Absolutely. But that's not what I do it for. I do it for the sport of boxing because I love boxing. And I love the direction it's going in. I love USA Boxing and what they're doing. I love the president that's helping out these Alex that's helping out these organizations and helping out Bernardo's Boxing, other organizations, other gyms, Stay Ready Boxing, PAL, Lovers Boxing. There's so many. We need to support them. And we need to come together and work together as a community. That's the only way we're going to make the sport a better sport. So with that being said, thank you for tuning into the Neutral Corner tonight. I am Jerry from the Neutral Corner. Everything behind the jab, and we're going to be okay. Have a great night. We'll see you next Monday.
Right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier.